Hey everyone, it's Tzayla and welcome back to Off Key and On Pitch, your backstage pass to the unfiltered world of music. So last week we broke down copyrights, what they are, when they're created, the rights you give up, and how to protect your work. If you missed that episode, I highly recommend going back and listening because today we're flipping that script entirely. Because guess what? There are situations where you can write, record, sing, and even release a song and still not own any of the copyright. Yep, even though copyright usually gives you 6 exclusive rights, to reproduce, distribute, perform, stream, adapt, and display your work, today we're going to talk about the legal exceptions to those rights. There are 3 big ones: work for hire, compulsory licensing, and collaborations. So let's break each one down and I'll tell you how to protect yourself in the process. Exception number 1, work for hire, when you sign your rights away. All right, normally when you write a song, you own it, right? That's what copyright says. But in a work for hire situation, you don't own it, even if you're the one who wrote it, sang it, or produced it. Why? Well, because when you sign a work for hire agreement, you are legally giving away your rights before the song is even created. That means you don't own the song or the master. You don't get royalties unless they offer you some in writing. You might not even get credit unless it's in the deal, and you're usually paid a flat fee up front, and that's it. In other words, you're trading ownership and earnings for a one-time payment and maybe some exposure. Now, here's the really important part. There are no legal rules saying what has to be in a work for hire contract. There's no required minimum payment, no required credit, nothing. It's all based on what the contract says. So if you sign without reading carefully, you could be giving up all of your rights, not getting paid fairly, getting no name credit, and still getting asked to do a billion revisions anyways. However, with that said, there are some work for hire deals that are actually pretty great if the terms work for you. For example, I personally do work for hire vocals for a music catalog. I get paid a fee per song, and while I don't own the copyright, my name is used as the artist. So I still build my brand, and it keeps me visible as well. I also write top lines for them. I get paid a fee up front for that, plus I keep a slice of the writer's share of the song's copyright, which means I get paid royalties every time the song is played as well. And my name is credited in the metadata as well. So not all work for hire is purely ghost work, but if you don't read or negotiate your deal properly, it might be. Moral of the story, work for hire is a legal exception to your copyright. You don't have the rights because you signed them away. Exception number 2, compulsory licensing, when people can cover your song without asking. Now this one might surprise you. If you write an original song and release it, someone else is actually allowed to record and release their own version of your song without even asking your direct permission. Well, welcome to the world of compulsory licensing. Here's how it works. If someone wants to do a cover of your song and put it on streaming platforms or sell it as a download, they can do it legally as long as your original version has already been released, they don't mess with the lyrics or structure too much, they get proper licensing, usually through a service like Harry Fox or Easy Song, and they pay a fee to compensate you, the songwriter. So basically, it's like a legal loophole that overrides your exclusive rights as a copyright holder. They don't need your blessing, they just need to follow the rules and pay the fee. That's why it's called compulsory. You can't stop them. Now, from a creative perspective, that can feel like a bummer. It means your song can be reproduced, sold, streamed, and even performed by other people without you having any control over the quality or the context. But here is the bright side, because you can use it too. I personally cover songs all of the time at gigs, events, and even on streaming platforms. I perform songs by Taylor Swift, Zac Brown Band, The Beatles, Benson Boone, even Rose Betts. Why? Because people tip better when they recognize the song. It draws them in. I can't tell you how much money I've been paid by playing Wagon Wheel, okay? It works. I even released 2 official cover songs on streaming platforms. I did one of The Little Drummer Boy and another of Lost Boy by Ruth B. Both of these songs came out in 2022, and recently, actually, Lost Boy has started getting nearly 100 streams a day for the past 2 months, totally out of nowhere. And so you never know what's going to resonate with someone. So compulsory licensing in summation is a legal exception to your exclusive right to control who reproduces your song, but it also gives you access to thousands of others as well. you alone the right to control and profit from your work. But in a collaboration, those rights get split between everyone who contributed to the song. That includes co-writers, producers, composers, and even featured artists in some cases. Each person owns a percentage of the copyright unless you all agree otherwise in writing. And without a written agreement, it gets a little bit messy. Here's an example. You and your friend are writing a song together. They only contributed about 3 lines to the whole song, though. You did the majority of the work. Now you've recorded and released a song, and it does very well. Royalty checks are coming in, and they're fat ones too. You tell your friend that you should get a higher percentage of the money since you did most of the work. They disagree, enough so that they take you to court over it. Now you're feeling pretty confident. I mean, you've got some proof that you wrote majority of the song and they only did 3 lines. However, you did not sign a split sheet, a written agreement saying who gets what. That means that your proof is now useless because you don't have a split sheet. And without a split sheet, the splits legally default to an equal divide, meaning you only get 50% and they get the other 50%. Even if you change the lines your friend wrote before releasing the song, meaning you wrote all the lyrics yourself, your friend would still be able to claim 50% of the copyright. How do you avoid this? Create a split sheet and explicitly state each person's share. Or if you want to change the lines your friend wrote and release the song only as yours and make it so your friend has no share in your song, then you'd have to write a copyright agreement where you essentially buy your friend's share of the song. Trust me, you're going to want to put both of these methods into practice. Another thing that makes things messy is now no one can license or change the song without everyone else's permission. If you and I write a song together, I cannot pitch it to a TV show without your okay. You cannot remix it for a TikTok ad without mine, and we both get paid based on the percentages we agreed to, or didn't. So, what do you need to protect yourself? I mentioned it earlier. A split sheet. Yes, a split sheet. It's as simple as a doc that says who wrote what, who owns what percent of the song, who gets what type of credit, and who owns a master if you recorded it together. Collaborations are beautiful. I've done so many myself, but they break the rule of exclusive rights. Now, those rights are shared, and you have to specifically say exactly who gets what share. So act smart and get your agreements in writing. So let's recap. Copyrights give you powerful exclusive rights, but there are 3 legal exceptions you need to understand. Work for hire. You give up all your rights, ownership, royalties, sometimes even credit, by signing a contract. It's not your song anymore. Number 2, compulsory licensing. Other people can legally cover your song without permission as long as they follow the rules and pay you. You lose control, but you still get paid. And lastly, collaborations. You co-own the song with others, and none of you have full control. Rights are shared, decisions must be mutual, and splits matter. Once you understand these, you'll stop being shocked when something weird happens with your music and start being prepared. If this episode was helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your fellow music nerds. If you have any questions, favorite moments, or if there's something I mentioned today you'd like for me to do a deeper dive on, feel free to comment below or DM me at Tzayla.official. I would love to hear from you. I will also give you a template of my own split sheet if you would like as well. You can also find more episodes, my music blog, my music, and my social media platforms at Tzayla.com. That's Tzayla.com, Tzayla.com. But if you take anything away from this episode, let it be this. Copyrights give you rights, but contracts, licenses, and collaborators can take those rights away or split them up. Know what you're signing, know who you're working with, protect your creative power, and keep dreaming big. And remember, I'm Tzayla, and adventure sounds like this.